Hello, everybody. Good Friday evening. For those of you who are watching live, catch up crew, happy to see you too. Today we are continuing our coverage of the case of Madeline Soto. Trying really hard just to say Soto. You know, I lived in South America and I've spoken Spanish so long. I've been taken to task for saying Soto, which is how I naturally just want to say it. I'm trying to say Soto. Anyway, we're following this case as more documents, more recordings come out. And tonight we're going to go over a couple of different things. One is a document that is a report of an interview with Jen Soto. And I think I'm going to start out with that, and then we're going to listen to about a 30-minute interview of her. Now, I have to say, I go back and forth on Jen, man. I go back and forth, and I'm sorry to be a waffler, to not be convinced of things one way or the other. Of course, we don't have access to all the facts, right? We are just following along with the stuff that we have. But sometimes I'm like, you know what? She just is not all there. And she is a victim herself in all of this. And then other times I'm like, wait a minute, why? She had to know. I go back and forth. And tonight is going to be no different because I've already, unlike last night, I've listened to this interview now and I've read the document that I'm going to share with you. So maybe I should just not bury the lead. Let's go ahead and dive into this document. I should say thank you once again to the gaggle of YouTubers that are working hard to get documents out of the different investigative agencies in this one. I have to say I'm a little behind everybody. I do have public records requests in, but most of the stuff that I have in my possession has been the work of other YouTubers like Plunder and The Docket and Grizzly. So I'm very grateful to them for making those available. All right, so let us head on over to Acrobat, and I want to show you this incident report. The incident report itself, you know, it has a whole bunch of, it's a 14-page report. It has a whole bunch of things in it. What I am most interested in is going down to page 11 right here. This is an interview that was conducted on March 1st. By the way, I should put on my do not disturb here real quick. All right. This is a report of an interview that Jen Soto did with Orange County sheriffs. All right. So let's just dig right in. Okay. On Friday, March 1st, 2024, Jennifer Soto came to the Orange County Sheriff's Office and agreed to be interviewed again in regards to this case. The interview took place in an interview room that was monitored by both audio and video recording. The room consisted of a couch, a coffee table, chairs, and end tables. The interview room is not a normal interview room, but a more comfortable and open space. Phoenix Rising. Yeah, I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back. And my knee is feeling better. It's still pretty tender, but I'm glad that I'm back here. And Teresa, thank you very much. I'm glad that I'm not alone on this because I am a waffler. Glad to have a fellow waffler along. Okay. This is Detective Kevin O'Malley says, I asked Jennifer Soto to go over the timeline of events of the past week and told her that I wanted to start from Sunday and move through the week. Jennifer Soto started telling me about their day and evening on Sunday, February 25th, 2024. Their family was having a birthday celebration for Madeline, but Jennifer Soto could not attend because she had just started a new job. Stephen Stearns came to the birthday celebration and brought Madeline Soto back to their residence after the celebration. I actually believe that he wasn't at the whole celebration, right? You guys might be able to correct me on this. By the way, if you want to get my attention in a comment, if you want to direct directly to me, just put GF in the live chat. Maybe you guys can correct me on this, but I believe he wasn't really at the party. Is my understanding that he picked her up from the party. We've got some conflicting information here. Okay, so where is it? So Stefan brought Maddie home. When Jennifer Soto arrived back home, Madeline was getting ready for bed and doing her nighttime routine. Jennifer Soto arrived home around 10:30 p.m., and Madeline and Stefan Stearns were both awake. Jennifer Soto advised everyone was still awake around 11 p.m. and told them, Madeline and Stefan Stearns, that they needed to go to bed. See, this is the part, man. This is the part. This grosses me out. This grosses me out. Hey, you two need to go to bed. She advised that they, Madeline and Stefan Stearns, went to bed together upstairs, and she stayed downstairs in her own bedroom. That grosses me out, man. Oh. Okay. She remembered that sometime through the evening, Stefan Stearns woke up to use the restroom downstairs and then returned upstairs where he was sleeping with Madeline. Jennifer Soto said on the morning of Monday, February 26th, 2024, she was awakened by Stefan Stearns coming into her bedroom to get the dog to walk the dog. She never got out of bed or left the room. She told me she heard noise in the kitchen and originally assumed it was Madeline getting ready for school, but admitted it could have been anyone inside the residence and was not aware whether or not the noise she heard was in fact Madeline. Let's remember, Jen had roommates. She had 2 roommates that we know about. That their names have not been redacted, which I think is pretty crappy. But so it appears that there were 5 people living in the home, which I think was a 4-bedroom home. Might have been 3 bedrooms. But anyway, I think it was 4. All right. Jennifer Soto told us she did not wake up and leave the bedroom until approximately 9 a.m. on Monday, February 26, 2024. She left and went to a doctor's appointment at LabCorp and did not return home until 11 or 11:15. When she returned home, Stefan Stearns was back at the residence. He told her he accidentally left his cellular phone at the residence when he left that morning to bring Madeline to school, but said that everything went well and described their morning, detailing that Madeline got up early, got ready quickly, and then told her that Madeline slept the whole way to school. Slept is in quotes. He detailed that he offered her McDonald's multiple times, which was their original plan for breakfast, but she said no. He also told her he had gone to the vape shop, but they were closed. Let me pause for a second here. This part right here where he accidentally left his cellular phone, to me is going to work against him, man. It is really going to work against him when this goes to trial, because that shows consciousness of guilt. He was trying to cover up where he was, and he thought, this is what the prosecution might argue, I should say. They might argue that he knew that he was going to be tracked, so he left his cell phone at home when he did the deed to conceal Madeline's body. Okay. The two hung out at the residence alone, and Jennifer Soto and Stefan Stearns said Stefan Stearns was sitting at their computer chair and started talking about updating his phone. While sitting there, he told her that he had just accidentally factory reset his cellular phone. Does anybody know how to reset a cell phone? Like, it's been a long time since I've done it, but there's no accident about it. Like, oops, I just reset my cell phone. That's the dumbest thing ever. Soon after, Stefan Stearns told her that he was planning on going out and stopping at a few gaming shops and then would return home to go pick Madeline up from school with her. Jennifer Soto said she stayed at the residence until approximately 2:30 in the afternoon, and Stefan Stearns had not returned home. She said she tried calling him, but he did not get did not get an answer. Approximately 10 minutes after she had left to pick up Madeline from school, Stephen Stearns called her and advised he was sorry and that he again left his phone at home. Yeah, I think prosecution's going to argue easily, and they're going to be able to convince a jury of it, that he was trying to cover his tracks. Stephen Stearns told Jennifer Soto that while he was gone, he got a flat tire somewhere on 192 and described that the tire was shredded and fell apart. Of course, we know the story because a witness saw him changing his tire out in the vicinity of where Madeline's body was found. Jennifer went to the school to pick up Madeline, but she was not at school and eventually figured out that Madeline never went to school on February 26th. After reaching out to friends and family, Jennifer eventually notified law enforcement that Madeline was missing. She then called Stephen and verified that he dropped Madeline off for school on that date. After law enforcement arrived, Jennifer and Stephen returned to her residence in separate vehicles. As the night started winding down, Stephen Stearns told her he was going to go out and cruise and look for Madeline. Jennifer Soto confirmed that Stephen took her 2022 Nissan Sentra to look for Madeline and said he drove it up and down 192. He did not tell her the exact location of where he searched, but admitted in the morning that he took her car. Okay, so that is new information for me, and now I'm waffling back and forth on this because I probably incorrectly just assumed that Jennifer would be driving her car, and when the Nissan was seen traveling the same route that he had traveled before to hide, allegedly, Madeline's body, I thought that meant Jen was in on it, and so I have to retract that for sure. If it was him that did it. Okay, the following day, February 27th, Jennifer and Stephen slept most of the day. No, hold on. Jennifer said Stephen slept most of the day while she woke up and called various resources to try to get help finding Madeline. This, when I read this the first time, guys, I know it's not the same thing, but hear me out here because, there we go. Hear me out on this one. Kimberly used to make fun of me a lot on this. My wife, Kimberly, used to make fun of me a lot for this. She did not like taking medicine for pain when she delivered our children. And so you can imagine doing natural childbirth. That's a difficult thing to do. Very painful, very tiring, right? But what she makes fun of me for is after she has done this incredibly tiring thing, the first thing that I did once the baby was born or the babies were born and once I knew that they were safe and all that stuff is, man, I passed out. I was like emotionally exhausted. I did none of the heavy lifting, so to speak, none of the hard work, none of the labor at all, but was so emotionally exhausted from the experience that I just crashed out every time, all 5 times. So that just kind of reminded me of that with like, okay, Stephen has spent by the 28th, right? Or by the 27th, he has spent an entire day just doing what he allegedly did. And then if he did that thing, endeavoring to cover it up, and he was exhausted. He had done no real work, so to speak, but I think that he was that same emotional exhaustion. And don't come at me, I know it's a different thing, right? But I was just like, he was just emotionally exhausted, so he spent the whole day asleep. And I don't know, that's what I think. I think that he just he was gassed. He was gassed. Okay. So Jennifer said Stephen slept most of the day while she woke up and called various resources to try to get help finding Madeline. Later in the day, Jennifer Soto said reporters came to the residence to interview them regarding Madeline's disappearance and described that Stefan was awake at the time. And we have seen this interview, right? Jennifer described a webcam-based interview with news station Fox 35. She described Stefan Stearns as emotional and ugly crying during the interview with Fox 35. The interview moved to Wednesday evening, which was February 28th. Orange County detectives, not the television interview. This is now the police interview, right? Okay. Orange County detectives asked Stefan Stearns for his cellular device and permission to search his cellular device. Jennifer described that Stefan Stearns gave his phone to detectives, but then while in a car with her, he began to get nervous about not having his phone. At one point, while detectives are searching their residence, Stefan Stearns began using Jennifer Soto's phone inside the car. Jennifer Soto described that Stefan Stearns was trying to log into his email while using her phone. During the course of the search of their residence, Jennifer Soto said she felt as if law enforcement was honing in on Stefan Stearns, and she felt as if they were going after the wrong suspect. So she recommended he get a lawyer. She said they called Stefan Stearns' father and said, "I think we need to get you a lawyer." Once the interview, once they realized they could not go back into the residence, and we're going to listen to a recording of this here in a little bit, Chris Stearns assisted them in getting a hotel room, and we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. I had wondered why he had done that. I thought that maybe there was some kind of fight, but a very good commenter was like, "No, Gavin, it's probably more like they couldn't go back in their apartment or something." So Chris assists them getting a hotel room. According to Jen, she began getting ready for bed. I don't know how you get ready for bed when your child is missing. This is another thing that's an indication to me that there's an issue here, right? Like, how do you go to bed? Like, how do you get ready to get in your little jammy jams, brush your teeth? How do you get into bed when there is something more important here? I understand sleeping, like crashing out, but I don't understand. And that's why, to me, it's like, I feel like she knew that Madeline was already over. She might even feel relief. I don't know. I'm just guessing at this one, but like, how do you just go, okay, we're going to go to a hotel and just get ready for bed? Going to get in my jammies. I don't. It's an issue for me, for sure. Okay. She began getting ready for bed, and Stefan immediately fell asleep in one of the beds and was asleep by the time she had come out of the bathroom. On the morning of February 28th, 2024, when she woke up, Stefan was awake and had a Wawa cup in his possession. He told her he had gone to 192, which is where he got the Wawa cup, but did not tell her that he drove to Northport, Florida. When we learned this, he went into his family's house. He got some cash. They think maybe he went over to a storage facility, so he was getting ready to run, is kind of what it feels like to me. Once we established a timeline for the events that occurred on Monday, February 26th, 2024, through the time Stefan was arrested, the interview shifted to her history with Stefan Stearns. The two reportedly met at a previous employer and were co-workers in 2017. The two lived with each other at times, and at other times they did not live together. They resided at various residences together. Jennifer Soto, Stefan Stearns, and Madeline lived together as a family unit when they were living in the same residence. When Jennifer, Stefan, and Madeline lived in the same residence, they all shared the same bed, even though there were separate living arrangements and separate bedrooms that could have provided Madeline her own place to sleep. That is now confirmed. It wasn't like they didn't have another place or another bed or another bedroom. They just did this weird thing where they all slept in the same bed together, which is just bizarre. It's just weird, man. Okay. Let's see. Where were we? Okay. During the course of their relationship, Jennifer Soto decided that she and Stefan Stearns were not going to work out and said they needed to get their own space. Stefan moved to the upstairs bedroom of their residence in June of 2023 and lived in that bedroom as his own until December 23, when he moved to Northport, Florida. He moved into his parents' home. Jennifer said she and Madeline have a good and open relationship, but admitted that she tends to share more with Stefan, and described within the last week at the time of this interview, Madeline told Stefan that she had a crush on a boy at school, which Stefan Stearns told Jennifer about. Jennifer didn't know if Madeline told Stefan Stearns in person or via the phone about having a crush on a boy at school. I asked Jennifer how she felt Stefan reacted to Madeline having a crush on a boy, and she said he was excited for her and that it was super cute. That kind of question, man, is a loaded question. Let's see. I know that you guys are chatting in here, and thank you for your chats. I'm gonna put in my my filter, right? Okay. So those are loaded questions, right? They know that Stefan has been abusing Madeline for years, and that there's evidence of it that he has kept on his Google Drive. So I imagine that this was a pretty frank talk. We began speaking about the living situation in the residence as it appeared common that Madeline and Stefan slept in the same bed together, even though they were not blood related or even extended family. Jennifer said that she had, quote, a rule that Madeline was not allowed to sleep in the bed with Stefan. It is as if she understood that is freaky, that is weird, that no good can come of it, right? She claimed Stefan never requested to sleep in the same bed as Madeline, but she struggled to maintain focus. Listen to this. But Jennifer struggled to maintain focus when she answered the question. Like, what does that mean? Was she searching for the answer, or was it something that she had a mental block about, or something like that? She struggled. Jennifer claimed Madeline asked for sleepovers with Stefan and said she wanted to watch movies and eat snacks. She then went into talking about the three of them staying in the same bed together back in June of 2023, and described she would sleep on one side of the bed, Madeline in the middle, Stefan Stearns on the other side. Jennifer acknowledged she eventually okayed the sleepovers between Madeline and Stefan Stearns, which is sick. It icks me out. It grosses me out, man. That poor little girl. I'm just at a loss for words. This poor little girl, from the time that she was like 8 years old, that we know about, she had been abused by this guy. And I just find it so hard to believe that she didn't know. How could she not know? Here I am waffling the other way. All right. The interview continued in a path as to find out if Jennifer had any knowledge of the current location of Madeline's body, but Jennifer remained steadfast that she did not know where the body of Madeline was. Continued to deny all involvement in regards to having knowledge of Madeline's murder, and continued to deny all knowledge of Madeline's victimization by Stefan. During portions of the interview, Jennifer continuously protected Stefan Stearns, was questioned about why she prioritizes Stefan over Madeline, and even at one point referred to the, quote, sex stuff as not evil. But the murder of Madeline is evil. And that just shocks me, man. I need to remember to tell you that I have a story that happened this week in my day job that just baffled me, that is apropos of this. The interview eventually ended, but Jennifer did not show the same level of emotion or care in regards to Madeline's ongoing victimization by Stefan than she did her disappearance. It appeared to me that she has already accepted that the victimization was happening and her emotion appeared fictitious. Which is how most of us are feeling, right? This week, for those of you that are new, my day job, I work as a reporter, a local reporter here in Pennsylvania. And I don't know why, but I'm frequently assigned to call angry readers, listen to their complaint. And it's not just the stuff that I write, it's anybody's article. If they call in and they're angry and my editors think that we should have a conversation, I'm the lucky one that gets to do that. So this week, and I'm going to like really be fuzzy on the details on this because it has to do with DV and DA. But a person called angry about an article that we had written based on a criminal complaint about a man who was arrested for assault of his domestic partner. And we had already dumbed down the details because, you want to dumb down those details. And I'm not calling our readers dumb. You just want to make them fuzzy, right? Because you don't want to give away identities and stuff like that. We had already done that. But she was very upset, and her claim was that article put her children in danger. But based on what police officers said she said the night of the incident, she was very protective of her abuser. And I came away from the conversation with her that she was not protecting her children. She was protecting her abuser by asking us to remove the article. So I'm wondering if this is kind of like Jennifer Soto, right? That for some reason, for some, I don't know, psychopathy or mental illness or, what would you call that? Over time being desensitized to it. Maybe she just cared more about Stefan than she cared about her own daughter. It just boggles the mind. It boggles. That's a good spot, I think, before we get into the actual recorded interview to see what your comments are. Holly says, so thrilled Gavin is walking this through with us. I needed it. Watched some, but not all. Glad you're here. Teresa's my fellow waffler. Phoenix is here. My schedule has been off when you were ready and able. Yeah, so we're like two ships passing in the night, but I'm glad you're here. Daddy, I'm glad you're here from Toronto. Welcome. Daddy Poppin says, do you think Stefan takes this to trial, provided prison justice doesn't take care of him first? Okay, first off, I hope that prison justice doesn't take care of him. I'm hopeful that he remains safe. I don't like the idea of prison justice in general, though it's very satisfying in some instances. I hope that they keep him safe. Do I think it will go to trial? I think so. It's a capital punishment in Florida, what he's facing. So part of me is thinking, well, he has nothing to lose. On the other hand, detectives and prosecutors might be prosecutors, not detectives. Prosecutors might be trying to convince him to take a plea bargain just so that they can avoid the spectacle of the trial. Prosecutors do not like trials. They just don't. And our system isn't made for them anyway. Our system is made for the plea bargain. It favors the plea bargain. So, do I think he has it in him to take it to trial? Put his mom and dad through all of it, put Jen through all of it. I don't know. He certainly has shown enough selfishness that he abused this little girl for 5 years at least. I don't know. That's a good question, Daddy Poppins, and I'm sorry that I don't have a good answer for you. Gavin, not comparing like with like. You are never going to give birth. I absolve you. That's funny. Yeah, it's not the same thing. I'm just saying, I bet it was exhausting. I bet it is emotionally and physically draining to commit the crime that Stephen Stearns is alleged to have committed, namely the murder of Madeline Soto, and then covered it up. I bet that is exhausting. I bet he crashed. Jeff, it's like a serial killer who sits down to a meal after they kill. Yeah, got to get refueled, right? Daddy Poppin says, these people aren't like us. We can never understand what they do and how they act. Well, that is true. There is, I think that might be the fascination of true crime, just the genre in general. I was talking with Sandy Greenberg. Those of you who are new to my channel, I have never ever been a traditional true crime fan. I didn't grow up watching, America's Most Wanted and Unsolved Mysteries. I used to make fun of my sister, who I love deeply, for watching court TV and stuff like that because she was a true crime fan. But I think that is the thing that fascinates people, is like, wait a minute, what is it that goes wrong with people? And and trying to figure that out. Maybe that's why it's so fascinating to us. But you're right. I don't think we ever will understand. PJ Tyler says, the sleep arrangements are called family bedding. PJ Tyler, I fear that if I Google family bedding, I'm going to see and read things that I don't want to see and read. Oh my goodness. It's a thing. It's a thing. Thank you for bringing that up. I did not know that. Let's see. Tammy says, I thought Maddie's aunt dropped her off at home around 8:30 the night of the party. Yeah, there's conflicting information about that. Jen said he wasn't there. Jen said he was there. Said that he brought her home. Yeah, it's I don't know what actually happened. If the aunt said that she dropped her off at home, I believe the aunt. GF, very possible many protect their abusers. Yes, it does. Let's see. Built to Help says, Gavin, if you do something illegal, you can and should earn a second chance to participate. If you do something seriously morally corrupt, there's zero upside to allowing them to continue. I'm not sure what this, maybe this comment is in regards to what I was saying about prison justice. No, I just, my thing about prison justice is that, and I don't know if what you're talking about is the whole prison justice thing. It's not that I'm anti Stephen Stearns or somebody like him. Let's say somebody who has committed the crimes that Stephen Stearns is accused of. I'm not against the people dying because of it. In fact, I'm very pro the death penalty. I really am. But I don't think that it should be done by prison justice. And yeah, this person, I think Stephen Stearns, if found guilty, should, at the very minimum, at the very least, spend the rest of his time on this green earth in jail. But I think it'd probably be better for society and better for him if he were to be given the needle. but it's just my thing. Just my thing. Phoenix Rising says, Gavin, no waffle here. Jennifer Soto is horrible. I could not even accept a bio parent sleeping with a 13-year-old. It's been my experience that things happen when men are half asleep. Eesh. Yeah, I like that emoji. Ugh. Yeah, this whole thing, that part of the story icks me out. It is gross. It's disgusting. I'm just trying to figure out if Jen was part of the murder. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And if she wasn't, how can she possibly be naive, stupid, or mentally ill enough to not understand that had happened? And this whole thing about the sex stuff not being evil, that is gross. It is evil for sure. It's just really, really bad. Okay, so let us now go to we've been at about 35 minutes. All right, so I've got about a 33 minutes and 48 seconds. We're going to come over to this shot, and this is a interview that Jennifer Soto did with Detective Tagler from the Orange County Sheriff's Office on the 27th, the evening of. So it was like 11:30 at night. This is prior to them having to find a hotel room, right? So it's the 27th. It's 11:30 at night. Again, there's some redactions in this. Most of it has to do with like the name of the business that her mom works at, the address and so forth. Definitely Maddie's name is redacted out of here. I have listened to it. There are no roommates' names or anything in this. Let's just go ahead and have a listen together. I've got my pen and paper all set to go to take notes. Again, if you want to get my attention in the live chat, just put GF so that I can see what you're telling me. And let's have a listen. Here we go. Here we go.
4-11313. Today's date is February 27th, 2024. The time is 23:32 hours. Gonna speak with Jennifer Soto. Hey, Jen.
Hey, she just said Jennifer Soto, okay? You guys giving me crap about... Oh, yeah, I'm not muted. Dang it. You guys giving me crap about saying Soto the proper way. And I just heard it. I'm just saying.
I haven't introduced myself. My name's Myra Tagler. Okay, I'm a detective with the Sheriff's Office. Do you mind if I talk to you? Do you mind if we talk over there by the car? That's fine.
Yeah, where? Inside the house?
In the car.
Yeah. Our car?
Yeah. Oh, look at the baby. Does it lock?
No, it should be fine.
Okay. Over here,
Are we
please.
going to be able to go back home soon?
I'll explain it in a second. Okay? I have a question too before we get started. Somebody said something like somebody in here has a gun. Is that a true statement or a false statement?
That's a true statement.
Okay, where is this gun at right now?
It is upstairs in the guest bedroom.
It's not like in any of these cars out here.
No, I don't believe so. I think it's upstairs in the guest bedroom. Bedroom number 4. It's got a number 4 on it.
Okay, how?
By the way, they already know the answer to this question because in previous reports that we've read, there was a gun tucked into the back seat of Stephen Stern's car. So they already know the answer to this question. They're just trying to figure out probably if Jen knows that the gun was there. The other thing is there are numbers on the doors. This was explained to me by somebody who is kind of in the know, who has talked to one of the roommates. Yeah, she ran this place kind of like a hotel, right? So all the bedrooms had numbers on them. And when they get a roommate, you are sleeping in number 2 or whatever, right? So it's like the entire thing is just kind of weird. The living arrangements, the personal relationships, the relationship she had with her daughter, it's all just really weird from top to bottom. It's just, yeah, just thought I'd mention that.
Certain are we of that?
As far as I know, the gun is inside upstairs. I haven't heard of it being in the car.
Okay. Let me just move my purse.
If you want to take driver.
I could be incorrect. I'm not sure.
If you want to start the car and just give me 1 second.
Yeah. Let me make this. I know it's not the most comfortable, but at least you won't be cold over there.
Yeah. I get cold super easy.
Yeah, I'm the same way, so I understand. You want to take a seat right over here? And then she's gonna...
I think they're trying to separate Stefan and Jen.
Don't worry about
Not sure if you guys can hear me okay while I talk over it. I think they're trying to separate Stefan and Jen at this point.
Do you have your keys on you?
Yep. Here, have it a little closer just in case.
Sorry, this isn't my car. There we go.
So it looks like they're sitting
Okay, so
inside.
I'm not sure if he introduced himself.
I guess they're sitting inside a police cruiser. I think she's separated Jen from Stefan, and they're sitting inside the car. That's what I think is happening.
But his name is Luis Acosta. Okay. We both work for Orange County Sheriff's Office. So I understand you spoke with the other guy earlier with Detective Frank Hunt. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. We have officially taken over the case, okay? So...
Are you guys with Kissimmee?
No, we're with Orange County. It's just a different unit.
Oh, okay. What unit are you with?
We're with sex crimes.
Okay.
It's just because of her age and...
Oh my goodness. That moment where she's like, we're with sex crimes. Okay. Like, to me, it just feels like I agree with Detective Tagler. She knew what was going on. She knew what it had been going on. And now she's like, oh, now the police know what's going on. That's what it sounded like to me. They're going to try to make her feel like, no, it's not what you think, but it is.
Is why we take over. Does that make... I know it's kind of confusing, but like we have like different roles in Orange County, and depending on like people's age, we sometimes take over investigation when it comes to missing persons.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When you talked to him earlier, I kind of got like a brief synopsis of what happened. I understand you have a new job.
Yes.
Okay? And if I say anything that's incorrect, please correct me, okay? You have a new job, and last night you asked them to go sleep upstairs because you wanted to get rest. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. What time was this? Do you remember? It doesn't have to be like exact time, but like just. Oh, and then yesterday she had Sunday she had her birthday party, right?
Sunday she had her birthday party.
Okay, what time was that party at?
It started at 3 o'clock.
Okay, from 3 to what time?
I'm not sure. I wasn't there. I was at work.
Oh, okay, you weren't there.
But I know my sister got home around 8:30.
Okay, so in this interview, she's saying my sister brought her home around 8:30. Talked about that earlier, right? And in the interview that we looked at earlier, didn't she say that Stefan took her home from the whatever? Yeah, so it's the story has changed at least once.
Was Stefan here at that time?
I'm not sure if he was here at the time, but I think he got here a little bit after. And he was like, okay, she was already doing what she was supposed to. She had taken her nighttime meds, and she was getting ready for bed, like taking a shower. She'd take showers at night. So he's like, okay, she was already on it. I didn't get home until, I'm going to say 10:30.
Okay.
And then at 11, I sent them to bed.
Did Stefan make it to the party?
To bed.
No.
Okay. And then once you get here, you said you sent her to bed at 11. And the following morning, well, I'm sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. You send them upstairs, right? How many bedrooms are upstairs?
3.
Okay. Where?
In bedroom number 4.
Okay.
3 bedrooms upstairs.
And what about Stefan?
Bedroom number 4.
Okay. Is it normal for both of them to sleep in the same room?
Sometimes. When I really need a good night's sleep, I will send them upstairs. But when... also, a lot of times, we will sleep together in the king-size bed, all 3 of us. Or sometimes Stefan will go upstairs and in our bed alone. So it just really depends on what's going on that night with our schedules and what we're doing.
Okay, where were you sleeping?
Downstairs in the king-size bed.
Okay. Is it just you two here? Well, you guys have a roommate, right?
We have 2 roommates, and one of the roommates has a son who's here like a little bit more than half the week.
So what rooms do you guys use?
The room downstairs, the master bedroom downstairs, and room number 4.
Okay. So it wasn't last night. It was the night before. Stefan slept in bedroom number 4 and you slept downstairs.
Yes.
In the master. Okay. What time did you wake up?
No, it just grosses me out. It just grosses me out. Like it just grosses me out that like you stay downstairs in the master bedroom and you send your boyfriend and your daughter upstairs to another bedroom to sleep together. That is messed up, man. There's something seriously wrong. Just, it's so gross all the way around.
I'm going to say around 8 o'clock in the morning, Stefan came into the room and was trying to put the leash on the dog. Somewhere between... I'm going to say somewhere between... He came into the room somewhere between 8 and 8:15. He came in to put the leash on the dog, and I got up to try to help him because my dog is kind of a nervous dog, and I didn't want him to pee on the bed. So we wrangled him, put him on his leash, and he said, go back to sleep. And I said, okay. So I laid back and went back to sleep.
Okay.
I heard people in the kitchen. I'm not sure exactly who was in the kitchen. As far as I know, I came downstairs to get ready in her. So she's got, she's kind of got a bedroom in the living room. If you go, if you go into the apartment, you'll see there's like one of those fake walls, separating half the bedroom. She's got like a desk with a bedroom and a TV and a dresser. But she'll hang out there during the day, but she never sleeps there. She always sleeps with me. And then the rare occasion upstairs. But most of the time it's with me.
Okay. Did you see her on Monday morning?
Visually see her? No.
Did you hear her?
I heard many people in the kitchen. I'm not sure if it was my roommate or her specifically.
Okay, is your roommate a male or a female?
Female.
Okay.
They're both females.
When was the last time you physically saw?
Wednesday, 11 o'clock. I'm sorry. Sunday, 11 o'clock.
Sunday when you sent her to bed?
To bed. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then when you woke up, you said you woke up briefly because Stefan went in there. Did you go back to sleep?
Yes.
What time did you get up?
Let me see if I actually have my alarm set. No, I don't have the specific day on there. Let me check something real quick. I'm pretty sure I woke up around 9 o'clock in the morning. And then I left at 9:30.
I had an appointment,
I had a doctor's appointment at like 10:15. But they took a while. And then by the time they did my blood work and whatever, I think I got home somewhere between 11 and 11:15.
Okay. When you got back, was Stefan here?
I'm pretty sure he was, yeah.
What was he doing?
Hey, we've got a comment here that I want to pause everything for. Sharon Shipley. This is something that I love doing these videos with you guys. The comments that you bring here are just things that are great questions, and sometimes obvious questions that I don't even think of. Sharon asks, I want to know what that girl was doing up that late on a school night. Like, I don't feel like Kimberly and I run a strict household, but when our children were in school, 9 o'clock was it, man. Now they could go to their bedroom and they could read, they could stay up, they could not be on devices, but they just had to be in bed by 9. And usually what happened is they zonked out, right? You shouldn't have a 13-year-old up at 11 o'clock at night unless there is something that is going to happen. Like, yeah, that is a great comment. Thank you very much, Sharon, for that comment. Yeah, I'll try not to interrupt too much here, guys.
Just sitting in my room. At my computer desk on his phone.
Okay. What did you guys do?
We chatted for a little bit. I asked him what had happened because he had called me earlier at 10. Let me see. Pretty sure he called me around 10:18.
What did he call you for?
To let me know that they didn't go to McDonald's as planned. He had asked her multiple times if she wanted to stop at McDonald's because that was the plan the night before, that they were going to wake up early. He was going to take her to McDonald's, do like a special McDonald's breakfast, and then drop her off at school early because she wanted to get there a little early. But on his way to school, she was very sleepy and wanted to sleep in the car. And she said she did not want to do McDonald's. She just wanted to be dropped off.
Okay.
Also to let me know that he left his phone at home because I had called him multiple times and he hadn't picked up. He had left his phone at home by accident. He had went to the vape shop. But they didn't open on time, so he had waited for quite a while in front of the vape shop. They didn't open, so he left and came back, and we hung out a little bit, and then I think he left again to the vape shop to go buy what he needed.
Okay.
Do you want the name of the vape shop?
Yes. If you have it at the top of your mind, I'm sure we're going to talk again soon, and we'll have more.
No, I'm just saying because that might be helpful if you want to see like surveillance or anything.
Okay, so at some point I understand he gets like a flat tire and he's not able to go with you to pick school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you get to the school, how do you realize that she wasn't there?
Yeah, Kaz, this officer knows so much more. She's asking questions that she already has answers to. And yeah, you are so spot on this. She knows when she's lying.
So I left for, I usually leave around 2:30 to pick her up. She gets out of school at 4. So I wait it takes me about 25 minutes to get to the school, and then I wait about an hour for her to get out. I waited the whole time. And then when the bell rang and then it was time for her to come out, she wasn't one of the first kids like she normally is. And I realized I was holding up the line because everyone behind me had children and they needed to get out because I was the first in line. So after about, I'm going to say, I think it was like 4:10, she didn't come out and I was holding up the line, so I drove away. I said, maybe I forgot to tell her that I was picking her up that day because I don't know if she knew that I wasn't working that day. But I had assumed that she thought, she knew that I was going to go get her. So because she never came out, I left and I went. She works less than, I'm going to say it's like a 3-minute drive from the school. It's very close. She works in the Hunters Creek Villages area. I drove that way, and I drove along the path that she would walk, and I didn't see her. And then office, I asked, hey, has she gotten here yet? They said no. And I said, okay, let me wait a little bit. And
Hey, listen, Ada Shaw JD just gave me permission to interrupt. Okay. Guys, this whole thing about how at 4:10 she felt like she was holding up the line, so she had to go. Her child is not coming out of school, but she's holding up the line. That is BS if I've ever heard any. Like this year, like we've got elementary school kids still. So this last school year, there was a day where the kids failed to come home. Our school is pretty close. They walk home. They're in the whole walking district, right? So I have a little alarm on my phone for when the kids are supposed to be home. They didn't arrive home. 2-3 minutes pass. They're still not there. I'm starting to get a little concerned. 5 minutes pass. I didn't hear from them. I went, okay, I'm going to go walk down to the school. On my way down, I figured I would run into them. Maybe they stopped to smell the roses. Never ran into them. By the time they had been missing like 15 minutes, I was convinced that they had been taken, and I was out of my mind with worry. Just like that. And so we live in a pretty small town. I was able to locate them. They did what they thought they were supposed to do that day, and they went to a different location rather than home. It all turned out just fine. I found them at that place. But yeah, she is not describing, like, it got to 4:10. I'm holding up the line. I guess I better leave now. No, that's messed up. No, you go into the school. You find out where your daughter is, right? Now, I know you guys, like, her story is that Madeline sometimes would walk to her grandmother's business. And so that makes sense that she would go over there, but she could call over there while she's also checking the school. So the whole 4:10 thing, because I'm holding up the line, I drove away. No, I do not buy it.
Parked back again on Hunter's Park Lane, I think. And I waited along that lane to see if I would see her walking. And I didn't see her walking. And it was about 4:30, 4:35. At this point, she should have. So I went back to the office. And then I was like, is she here yet? No, she hasn't gotten here. And I said, okay, hold on. Let me see. I called her best friend. And I was like, hey, are you... I don't know if I told her I was picking her up from school today or to walk to the office, but I don't see her anywhere. And she goes, no, she never came to school today. She didn't come to first or second period. And I said, what do you mean? We dropped her off close to school. She should have walked to school. She goes, no, she never made it to any of her periods. And I said, can you please check with your other friends in your other classes to see if she ever made it? She got back to me and said no. At this point, I started to panic because I realized something was wrong. I emailed one of her teachers, a few of her teachers actually, and one of them responded to me. He said she didn't make it to his period at all, and he checked all her other classes, and she didn't make it to school at all. That's when I knew something was truly wrong, and I'm not before that email or after that email. But I started panicking and freaking out because she should have been to school. She should have made it.
And then I understand she forgot her phone, right?
Yeah.
Is it common for her to not have her phone?
Yes. She's got ADHD. She's super forgetful. She doesn't even... She never realizes that she's in the shower for a whole hour. She loses track of time. She's very...
And then you guys went looking for her, right?
Yes.
Where did you look? Like, did you drive somewhere? Did you walk? Like, where did you go look for her?
Okay. So, after her best friend called me, actually, or I talked to her best friend on the phone, I went back to the school to see, let me check her official attendance. Let me see what's going on. They were already closed. Nobody was at the school. So I searched by backtracking into the school and then coming back out and seeing that there were no kids at the school at all. So then I drove office. Everything was driving. And then I think that response from her teacher at that point. But,
Did you come back to the apartment at any point yesterday? Once you realized she was missing?
Stefan was at home waiting for us to get back. And then when I told him something was wrong, she never made it to school, he completely hauled it back to me. And then we all stood there waiting for the cops to show up, and they didn't show up till like 7:30. It took them a while to respond. I think they were looking for other missing kids around the area too. But yeah, no, we did not come back home until we were done with the police. We were done with everything. There was nothing else for us to do except come back
Where
home.
was her phone when all of this was happening?
With me.
Hey, this is a great comment from PJ. On the day of this interview, Maddie is still missing. Listen to her voice as she speaks to this sex crimes detective, right? Listen to her voice. It does not sound like the worry. It doesn't sound like she's worried. Like she already knows where Maddie is. That's what it sounds like to me. Great comment, PJ.
How did you get the phone if you never came back here?
I took it with me to go pick her up from school. I was going to give it to her when she got in the car and be like, listen, you forgot your phone again, and let her play on it. I'll do that sometimes when she forgets it. I bring the phone with me and I just give it to her afterwards. But I had brought it with me to go pick her up from school.
Okay. And you works where?
I won't get you the address exactly.
Yeah. And then, did you at any point check her phone out while you had it?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Okay. Actually, I started looking, but I could not concentrate on reading anything. I was too panicked and too worried. I handed the phone to my sister. She's the one, and my niece. They both started going through her texts. I saw her texts. Nothing seemed weird. No weird random people. Everyone is someone I was familiar with or had heard about. They checked her Roblox. They checked her Discord. I checked her Discord as well. There was nothing weird. One of the police officers taught me to look at deleted text messages. We looked at those as well. They were random text messages deleted. They weren't anything.
Do you remember where you were when you were looking at her phone?
Yes.
Which is where?
Let me see. Is it okay if I call her?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll get the exact address.
And then while she answers, were you guys, when you guys were looking for her, did you guys keep looking for her in the Hunters Creek area or somewhere else?
Hunters Creek area.
Okay. Did you guys come back here at any point?
No.
What time did you guys come back home?
Hold on a second. I think I just realized what I was doing. What time did we come back? What time did we come back? That was a very good question. I was gonna say it was like somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock p.m.
Did you guys go back out after that?
Stefan went back out.
And this was last night, right?
Yes.
Okay. Where was after this?
With me.
Okay. Did you leave the house at any point with her phone after this?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
Hold on. No, I think it's been home all day today, too.
It's been home all day today?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
What time did the police take her phone?
Oh, just kidding. Yeah, they took it. I don't have it anymore. What time did he take the phone? I've made so many phone calls today and seen so many people today that I
Was it
don't know.
light out or dark out?
It was light out. It was
still
Detective
light.
Hunt still took. Yeah, it was during the daytime.
And then but other than that, her phone was here all day.
In the morning, yes.
Did you guys take the phone anywhere other than when Detective Hunt took the phone?
I think it's been home all day. I don't think I left the house with it.
Okay. Did Stefan have access to the phone?
I'm sorry, I took my medicine, so I feel a little spacey. I think I've had it with...
I'm sorry, I took my medicine, so I feel a little spacey. Listen, if your daughter is missing and you are dealing with the police, don't take the medicine that makes you loopy. Come on. Oh my goodness.
I think it's been with me.
Okay. Did you go through her phone today?
Yes.
Okay. Where was that at?
Here.
And what were you looking for at that time?
To see if there was anything else. What we couldn't access on Monday night was Roblox. So my niece came over and logged into her Roblox and checked out messages. But then they were also, my sister was also looking for her phone to see if there was anything.
Here at the house?
Yes.
And that was today?
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys have her account information as far as like her iCloud and all that stuff? Or is it just on her phone?
I've had a hard time logging into it before when I was trying to get her a new phone. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure if I can log in to her iCloud. But I think it's all on her phone.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because they took the phone and they downloaded it, right? They can see like if somebody tries to access her accounts and stuff like that. So if you guys do have access to anything, if you guys can refrain from like logging back in.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
So it doesn't look like if she tries to like access her accounts from like somewhere else, that way we can track that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So they're asking if you can, just try not logging into any more of her accounts so that when he's going through the phone, it doesn't look like she's trying to log on from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything else that they wanted us to clarify?
the address to your...
Sorry, let me call her again.
Or what's the name of it?
Oh, if I could remember her business name, I don't know.
What kind of business is it?
It's an insurance business. I think Advanced Insurance something group.
And then I know that you've been with us for the most part of the day, right?
Yes.
We have, I want to say maybe like 40 people out here, okay? Between us and Kissimmee. And we're all, going to be working basically overnight and throughout the day tomorrow until we, okay? Tonight, what we're going to do is, I know we already secured your house, right? We asked everybody to leave. So another thing that I'm going to ask is if you guys can find somewhere else to stay for the night, because we're going to have Kissimmee out here at your apartment for the rest of the night, because the people that come and like take pictures and all that other stuff are not going to respond until the morning. Okay, so nobody can go into the house for the rest of the night until the house gets, we need to take pictures and do other stuff with the house. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
She's like, your house is a crime scene. You can't go back in that house because it is a crime scene. We just want to take pictures and stuff. Like, and it seems to me like Jen is going, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. But no, the reason that they can't go back in the house is because it is a crime scene. Crying out loud.
And unfortunately, because you guys have such a big apartment, it's not something that only one person does. Like, we don't do that, right? We have our forensics unit come out. And it's not something that one person can do by herself. So she has to wait until people come in, because they're on call after midnight, right? So she has to wait for the other people to come in the morning, and then they're all going to come in as a unit and try to get it done as quick as possible.
Okay. I need to go back into the house.
Mm-hmm.
I have medication that I have to take in order to be like normal.
Mm-hmm.
She said she took medication.
Is there a possibility that I can go back in there and get my meds?
Yes. Give me a few minutes, and then we'll try to figure out how we can get your medication. Okay, but that's something that we can definitely get. Okay. Does it make sense what I'm telling you?
Yes. I just don't know what we're going to do about finding a place to go, but okay.
And then, because last in Stefan's car, we're also going to tow his car.
Yeah, because it's a crime scene.
Okay.
Jen, sweet Jen, your house is a crime scene. Stefan's car is a crime scene. We found a gun in it.
Do you have any questions about anything that I'm telling you? Okay, so from now on, it'll probably be me getting in touch with you, okay? Not Detective Hunt. Okay?
Okay.
Do you understand everything that we discussed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I get your direct number?
Yes.
Job address, if I remember it correctly, is 13550 Village Park Lane, Suite 125.
Okay.
In Orlando, Florida.
That's in Hunters Creek. Hunters Creek, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Village Park Drive, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
And 13550.
Yes.
Is that like an apartment complex?
It's a business building? I don't know. It's a building with a lot of business and offices inside.
And when did you say you were there?
I got there around 4. Well, see, I left and came back. So 4:45. I got there, and I think I And I stayed until they had left.
Were you there today?
No.
Is there one would be anywhere near that area today?
No, I don't think so. It's been with me. Oh, Detective Hunt went back to that office. I'm so sorry, and he had her phone.
Okay, he had her phone at that time.
Yeah.
Why did he go back to that office?
Because my uncle had walked the path along the trail, and he had found a wallet with not 90, but like credit cards and something that had somebody's state on it. So he went to pick it up to see if it was of any interest.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you my business.
Ada Shaw, this question, do we know where Maddie's dad is? He apparently is in Houston, Texas. And Maddie, according to the interview that Jen did, was not in very frequent contact with her father.
This card, I'm still here for a little bit longer. I'm going to talk to Stefan one more time. There was like a few things that we needed to clarify with him. And then we're gonna, like, me physically, after I get done talking to Stefan, I'm gonna try to go get rest, right? Because we're gonna continue to do all this.
Yeah.
There's other detectives that are coming from my unit, okay? So, like, there's always gonna be somebody here.
Okay.
So just because I physically am not here, don't think that we're not physically working on this. We have a lot of people in our unit, right? So we're taking, like, shifts. And then the people we have violent crimes out here as well. And they're here till 4 a.m. So I don't want you to think that, like, just because I'm leaving, that we're not still actively working on this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, they are here till 4 a.m. And then the day shift people that also work violent crimes come in around that same time. So they're going to take over. So, like, we have, like, people working till a certain time and then other people coming and taking over, okay? So like I said, just because I physically am not here doesn't mean that we're not still working on something. Does that make sense?
Real quick, I don't remember if Detective Tagler asked, but yesterday when you guys were out looking, do you remember what time you were out looking till?
So yesterday, I stayed in the office. My family went out searching.
Which office?
1355. Yeah.
You stayed until what time?
I'm gonna say somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock. I left and then I came home.
You came straight here.
Yeah.
And then who was out? Your family was out looking?
Yeah, but I think they all stopped when. Actually, I'm not sure. One of my uncles might have kept searching along the trail, but I'm not sure until what time he was out. My dad as well.
What about Stefan?
Stefan went out sometime in the middle of the night and went searching, cruising around to see if he could figure out where she might be.
What car was he driving?
My car.
Was anybody driving Stefan's car?
No, just Stefan.
And what time was he out?
I have no idea. I fell asleep. But I know he drove my car because when I got into it, I said, "Oh, the
Cannot believe that.
the seats adjusted. Did you drive my car?" He goes, "Yeah, remember I said I was going to take a drive tonight to go search for her because he does have, like, insomnia. He can't sleep at night sometimes, and especially, like."
It's not insomnia to not be able to sleep when your daughter is missing, you crazy woman. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry for the personal attack on Jennifer Soto. But come on, man. Come on.
That's what's going on right now. But I'm not sure what time he may have come in or out. But if you guys look at my gate clicker, you need that to come in the front gate. You can see what times he may have come in and out.
Okay. I don't think I have anything else for you. We're going to clear some things with Stefan. And then I will let you know before I head out. Okay? Do you promise that everything you said today is true?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
that is the end of the...
Ending the recording at 009.
That's the end of the recording right there. Let's get Jennifer's picture off of here. And actually, I need to go back here. Hang on. And push that button. There we go. All right. Let's get her picture off of here. Let's remember who our victim is. 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Trying really hard to say Soto. Got a couple of your comments along the way that I did not put on the screen that I want to talk about. First, thank you very much, Ada Shaw JD. Ada Shaw, does that mean you have a Juris Doctorate, or is that something else? But thank you for the super chat. I'm happy to cover this story, and I deeply appreciate that super chat. There are a couple things here that I wanted to bring up. Here we go. Mary Goff said she claims she knew exactly what Maddie was wearing, but never saw her as she went to school, and she also confirmed with police that Maddie's clothes were not laid out the night before. Why lie? Yeah, that struck me as well. Thank you, Mary, for bringing that up. Okay, this one is a little more disturbing, but a very good comment. Jennifer Nader says, neither of them had a real job. My theory is that Stearns sold the illegal content on Telegram. I don't know what Telegram is. Maybe I'm a little too naive to that, but I'm guessing it's some online platform. And Jen turned a blind eye because it was money coming in. I mean, that seems like a pretty reasonable theory to me. And I think that police probably were working on those theories. Let's see, a couple of other ones. Phoenix Rising, going to the GFs here. Gavin, no, we did this one already. Phoenix, you're awesome. You're awesome. Okay, GF from Joanna Honeyman, or Johanna. Gavin, family bedding is a thing, but only for close family, similar to co-sleeping with infants and young children. Stearns was Maddie's mother's boyfriend, not family, so 100% inappropriate. Yeah. Well, like, I'm not completely naive here. I mean, we have 5 children. Of course, there are times when our children have laid in our bed, like they wouldn't go back to sleep, and we're like, oh my goodness, just lay down so that we can sleep, right? That is a natural thing. But at 13, no. My parents' rule was that nobody was allowed in their bed. If we were having a bad dream or something like that, they would make us a bed on their floor. But there was their bed was like, no, sleep is sacred to us. You may not steal our sleep. You're stealing our sanity. You're stealing all of our resources just by being here. You are not going to steal my sleep. That was my parents' rule. Looking back on it, man, do I agree with that. Autumn, yes, Maddie's bio dad has talked in public. I don't think he had much to do with Madeline. Karen says, Gavin, I'm more protective of my cat than Jen was of her daughter. I gave her the benefit of the doubt, but now not so much. She's definitely involved somehow and knows more than what she's saying. And that's what the investigator in the in this report says, right? It appeared to me that she has already accepted that the victimization was happening and her emotion appeared fictitious. So yeah, I think you've come to the right conclusion. I feel less waffly now that we have read so much today and listened to so much today. Let's see. Tracy says, Gavin, just the way she talks to the police like she doesn't have a worry in the world, it rubs me the wrong way. Yeah. Karen says, Gavin, I feel this was definitely planned. Something happened Saturday night to trigger this tragic event. I wonder if it's just something as simple as like an accident, like he accidentally did it while he was committing a felony against her, which makes it capital murder, of course. Let's see. Vulgar display of power agrees with Karen. In my opinion, this murder was planned. Jen knew Maddie was getting ready to tell of the horrible abuse. After I heard that recording of her answering with no concern, Jen answered vaguely and bothered. Man, that is hard for me to get there. I mean, maybe I need to get there. It's just really hard for me to get there that a mother would say, yeah, let's go ahead and plan the murder of my child. It's hard for me to get there. Let's see. Gavin, Stefan could have been drugging Madeline up to commit those crimes on her. Jen can't be that oblivious to her daughter's safety. Sending Maddie to sleep with him doesn't add up. I think we are all in agreement of that. If Stefan lived there before, asked Ginger Snaps, why is the dog afraid to have him take him for a walk? Ada says that she is a waffler no more. Yeah, I'm feeling less waffly right now. Let's see, Gavin, I think she was so worried about presents because it may be the only time she gets something from people. Yeah, I remember that whole thing that she was a little upset that she wasn't getting presents. Yeah, that's sad. Daddy Poppin says, Gavin, how dare you be a responsible father? I do my best. I definitely do not. I'm just stating the obvious. The vast majority of us love our children so much that we would give up our own lives for them in a heartbeat. I'm sorry that Maddie did not have that same experience. It appears to me. Mia Spaghetti says, Gavin, so the detectives and DA think that Jen's lies, sleeping, and SA situation are totally acceptable and don't warrant protection, and the rest of the world is having a nervous breakdown. Yeah, I don't understand why she hasn't been charged. Maybe the DA is just like, I don't have enough to charge here. I don't know. That's tough. Let's see. PJ Tyler says, Gavin, at no point does Jennifer ever cry out, please help me find my baby girl. Yeah. Boss Lady, do we know if any of the roommates of the house were interviewed? I know that on, I'm blanking on the name of the channel. This is horrible. But I know that one of the roommates has anonymously been interviewed, like not showing her face. Man, I feel so bad about this because one of our mods, Bree, is a mod over on that channel, and that channel is doing great work. I'm so sorry, Bree, that I can't remember the name of the channel. Terrible. Jen Rock says that she loves listening to me. Thank you very much, Jen. I appreciate it. Liz, man, you guys are puffing me up tonight, telling me I'm awesome. Well, thank you for that comment, Liz. I appreciate it. Jen, have you seen Bob and Margaret Last Name Fish? Check it out. Oh, I have not, and I will try. Holly says 2 people have said she was strangled per a doctor, but it's been said Florida won't release results for minors, so I'm leery of potential false info. Though that was reported, Holly, by a media outlet that cited sources that wanted to remain anonymous. So I'm inclined to probably believe that report. There was a strangulation there. I think that if it were a gunshot, that the roommates would have been alerted to something wrong, right? I think strangulation is probably the most likely thing. Jennifer Nader says it's a major red flag that she emphasizes Maddie's flaws repeatedly. I'm a mom today, and if anyone asks about my daughter, especially in a situation like this, it wouldn't just focus on the bad things. Yeah. I mean, you'd want to be truthful to the cops about the struggles that your daughter has, for sure. But I haven't heard her or Stefan say, or I haven't read a report that was like, she was beautiful, she was lovely. These were the things that we love about her. It's always about her disabilities, I guess. Jennifer says, I hope they're secretly building a case on her because this is not a concerned mother. At minimum, she needs to be charged with neglect or whatever. Yeah, it's possible that they're still building that case. Okay, and this is the hard part. Gavin, nothing can convince me he wasn't making money off of SA live streams, and Jen knew. She sounds insanely jealous of her daughter. What did she get Maddie for her birthday? Why did she miss her party? Yeah. Gavin, I'm 47 and my mother would be driving every side street in a 100-mile radius. Mine too. My mother lives 2,800 miles away from me, and at the age of 48, if I went missing, my parents would be everywhere looking. It's yeah. So it's a texting app. That's the app from before that was brought up. Okay, thank you, Autumn. Gavin, is Jennifer Soto actually under par mentally? It does feel like it to me. Either that or just addicted to drugs or something. I don't know. Ada Shaw JD, she is a lawyer, family lawyer in San Francisco. I'm guessing that's what SF means. I am from Northern California myself. Ada Shaw, not from the San Francisco Bay Area, but from the Sacramento area. Yeah, let's see. We've got some. What? Built to help. Wait, Gavin, what were the roommates? Were there roommates if it was her mom's condo plus a spare room, yet Maddie didn't have a bedroom? Yeah, I mean, you're not mistaken. The condo belonged to her parents, as I understand it. And yeah, they were even talking about taking it away from her, like get away from Stephen Stearns kind of a thing. I saw the autopsy report on Grizzly. Okay, I will reach out to Gazella. I work for a local news publication, and it's high school football season. So I have been neck deep for the last week in preparing for high school football season, which seems like it's not all that important. But I have to say, I wish that all that was in the news was high school sports, that we didn't have to think about things like what happened to poor Madeline Soto. Oh, a couple more things have come in. Let me just make sure that I get everybody's super chats. Mary Goff, your editor has you call angry readers because you have tact and poise. Mary, there was one time where I lost it. I just couldn't handle it, but I do my best. I definitely do my best. Super chat from PJ says, thank you to Gavin and Autumn. Yeah, my mods are the best. And Jamie, who would normally be here, well, I shouldn't say exactly because there's privacy and everything, but Jamie wants to be here. Let's just say that. And we love her, and we're thinking good thoughts for Jamie. And Autumn is just amazing for being here. And then Karen adds another super chat saying, thank you for covering this. Guys, I really appreciate those super chats. I appreciate the love and support. You guys are terrific. Hey, real quick, one little, just kind of like couple shameless plugs here at the end. You've made it to the end. You can make it another minute or two here real quick. But, hey, on Maddie's case page, I've got a whole bunch new documents, but I haven't put them up yet. I will. So keep your eye on Maddie's case page. And if you're a patron of mine, you'll have full access to these documents. The really important ones, I will definitely bring to you here on YouTube. Holy cow! Thank you very much for that last super chat there, Stevie Marie. Live stream ended before yours started. There's so many questions that get answered. Okay, I'm looking forward to the next piece of information. I'm having so much. Well, it's not fun, but I'm definitely interested. So anyway, I'm going through the documents. I will put them here on the site. If you are into having an almost daily e-newsletter, Crime Cod is my almost daily newsletter. I missed today, But tomorrow I'll catch us up, so you can go to the website. You can subscribe to that if you want. Also, if you're on social media on Facebook, head on over to the Fish Tank. Just go to Facebook and search for the Fish Tank, and that is where you will find me and 2,000 of my closest friends in true crime talking about cases like Maddie's and others. I invite you to join us there. I deeply appreciate all of you guys. You're all super amazing, and I'm glad you've joined me tonight for a late Friday night. You guys are the best. With that, I will bid you adieu. Oh, wait, there was one last plug. Hang on. Last plug. Most of you are still here. I'm going to be in London. About a month from now, September 21st, 22nd for CrimeCon UK. Love me some CrimeCon UK. And if you're going to be there, please use code FISH at checkout to save yourself 10%. You can get tickets by just clicking this button. It'll take you over to their website, or you can, scan the QR code. It'll get you to the right spot. Okay. Oh, I need to show you guys this. CrimeCon UK. If you're across the pond or planning on being, please stop in and see me and pick up a little CrimeCon button from me. I'll have these to give out while there and a couple of other things. So please join me there. Okay. With that, no more false endings. No more impersonating Tchaikovsky here. I will bid you adieu. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.